Hello everybody, this is Lena from Infected Rain and I'm going to answer some questions for an interview for Jam Session. Now, the guys from Jam Session sent me an email with 11 questions and I'm going to read them out of my computer and answer in this video for you and for everybody who knows and loves Jam Session. Okay, here we go. How do you guys feel at the moment? And yes, as you can tell, I'm doing this interview from the house. This is my house and I am currently quarantined, staying home, trying my best to be positive and strong in this, crisis time that we have to deal with, that the whole world actually has to deal with. So in fact, that leads me to the second question, which says, what are you doing during the Corona time? Well, I did a special episode on my YouTube channel about it, and I will repeat myself here as well for those who didn't see it, who didn't watch it. I am trying my best to stay at home. I'm trying my best to be away from people, to have a social distance, and that's my dog over there. She keeps me company and she's the best company one can ever ask for, right, baby? I am obviously doing my best to stay busy even though I am at home, and certain things you can do are limited at home. So what I'm doing is I am trying to look at this time we are dealing with, look at it as a given time, as a gift of extra time to pay attention to ourselves, to find ourselves, to dedicate ourselves to some projects or ideas that we kept aside because we never had time before, right? So what I'm doing is I'm reading a lot, I am writing a lot, I am doing some handmade stuff, which I always was putting aside or starting it and then never had time to go back into it. I'm watching a lot of movies that I put away. I love movies. And I also work out a lot, I cook a lot, spend time with my dog, and of course, I try my best to connect with people that it's been a while since we talked, since we've seen each other. So thankfully we live in an internet era and that is still there for us so we can use it. So that's what I'm doing. Next question. You've been touring the world. Where is your crowd rocking really hard? That is a very difficult question for me to answer because I think every country is so different and every crowd is unique. Some crowds are more supportive, like after each song. Some crowds are supportive during the songs. Some crowds are more energetic, during the whole show entirely. Some crowds are energetic between songs, so I cannot tell you. I can only tell you that we can feel a little difference into how crazy a crowd can go in comparison with another. So I don't know, I guess I don't want to choose between the countries because I don't want anybody to get upset that I didn't mention their countries, but literally we just love touring, we love sharing our music, and I think that sooner or later even a very stiff and cold crowd gets like melted and they warm up and they are actually active and they're rocking. So next question. How does it feel to know that your music is reaching so many people? It actually feels great. It feels amazing. And it feels like a big honor. Me together with my boys from the band Infected Rain, we are really big fans of our own band. And knowing that somewhere else in the world, there is, your music lovers, and there are people that appreciate what you're doing and they feel and can relate to what you're doing is absolutely amazing. And I know that for any type of music and any type of art in general, there's going to be somebody that is going to relate to it and is going to see what exactly do you want to deliver and what do you want to say. So that's great that we have such a big following, such a big fan base, and I'm eternally thankful to our fans, because I know, not I think, I know that we are where we are only thanks to our amazing fans and supporters. Next question is for me to give a short message to the fans. And that's funny because I just said all that in the previous question regarding how much I love our fans and supporters. And I think I really want to say I love you. I love you, and I hope you believe me. And I hope when you see us live or when you see us after the show and you look us in the eyes, you can feel how grateful we are and how much we love and appreciate what you're doing for the band. Now, I gotta say, I think we are so lucky, because the people that follow Infected Rain are super special. They are sensitive, they are kind, and their hearts are so big. So I really love you all, guys. Yeah, and never change. That's my message to you. Please never change, no matter what, because you're great and you're beautiful. Next question. Did the music become a full-time job? What else are you doing besides? Well, yes, Infected Rain is taking a lot of time, obviously, and the more we go with this and the more time passes, the more we have to work on it, obviously. And it was not like that from the beginning. You know, we all had jobs that we continued doing with the touring and with the recording and with, you know, the rehearsing. But little by little, the music took over, and now we dedicate our time fully to the band and we prioritize the band. But there are a few things that some of us do besides the band. Me, for example, I also model a lot, and I have other little projects that I do here and there with photographers or with some other artists. Sometimes I am part of some other band's projects or songs. Sometimes, like at the moment, I'm working on a lyric book, for example. And yeah, I always find little things here and there that I work on with other artists that I try to involve. Okay, next question. Who are your musical models, heroes, and which genres influenced your music? I get that question so much. Honestly, I'm repeating myself over and over again with this. We grew up in, you know, we are all the 80s babies, and, you know, we kind of grew up with the music of the 90s and the early 2000s that influenced, I guess, us as personalities. But I can't say that that influenced our band, because we listen to so much music, and honestly, I think Infected Rain is the way it is because of how different and how big the variety of music in our playlist is, basically. I know that sounded a little bit wrong and confusing, but what I'm trying to say is I love and appreciate older artists and older bands and single musicians in different genres, like pop or rap musicians or, you know, electronic musicians or whatever. Till these days, like there are newer bands that I discover that are like, wow, such a big and interesting mouth of fresh air, if you want to call it that way, you know, that you're like, this is so awesome, you know, who have thought that this could work well together. So I think while we create and while we write the music for Infected Rain, we don't really necessarily get influenced or inspired by other musicians. We just try to put together something that makes us feel anything, makes us feel emotions and delivers emotions, right? So that is probably what inspires us the most, is writing, working, and then listening to it and actually feel. And when that happens, then we are happy and we know the goal was achieved. So I don't know. I can't name bands or specific genres that made a big difference in our career. I mean, honestly, don't get me wrong. I will, correct myself here. Obviously, growing up with the knowledge of the existence of the alternative music helped a lot, and for somebody more, for somebody less. But of course, that's why we love doing this specific genre of metal. Okay, next questions. Are you writing your songs together, or do you have some sort of distribution, I guess? In this case, it's intended if every band member has its own thing to do. Also, part of this question is, how are your songs being created, and can you give us a little description of the process? So yes, I can share with you that. Maybe it is a little bit atypical, or maybe it is a little bit different than the normal classic bands. I live far away from the band. The band lives in Moldova, where I was born and raised. I moved to United States though, and the majority of the time I am far from the band, but we create and write together. Now, the way it works is that my boys, they work on the melody of the instruments, and then I work on the lyrics totally separate. And then when we get together, we work on it to be like a unique thing, like a one complete thing. So the process is that I sit down and I decide what lyrics go with what song, with what melody, judging on how the music makes me feel and what is the mood of the song, if it gets along well with the lyrics that I want to put together. So when I decide that, I work on the melody for the vocals, working, with the lyrics and the music, already putting them together. And then the first person to hear my ideas and judge and help out or make some corrections is our guitar player Videk. He is also the founder of the band, and he is my dear friend that I know since I was 16, and he's my best friend. So I trust him, and I trust his musical taste, and I trust his ideas and his knowledge. That's why he's the first one to listen to that. Then after that, we rehearse them all together, and everybody gets to say something or to suggest some corrections, and I'm very open-minded usually. And that's how we write. That's how everything starts, I guess. All right, next question. You have a custom designed jewelry with gem session. It's a pendant with your band logo. How did your fans respond to the pendant? That is very true. And I think, I remember in the beginning thinking that this could be so tricky and so difficult to do, because gem session is actually carving the logo of the band or whatever the design is from drum cymbals, and they could be used or new, and I think it's a very tedious and difficult procedure to do. And I thought, how unique can those be? How good will those keep in time and what's not. I had a lot of doubts. But then when I saw them live, I was like, oh my God, I have one, guys. I will not lie. I love them a lot. So we risked it, and they're always sold out all the time. We had a few available on tour, and then every time we print new ones for our shop, they literally sold out in a day or two. So I think it's an amazing idea, very unique, and very specific, which the fans or the just band listeners or supporters, they like unique stuff. Of course we do. I mean, I like unique stuff too. I listen to so many bands, and I don't want to be like everybody else and have the same short or the same thing that is viral and it's been released in thousands and thousands of copies, right? So that's why I think this is very unique and very cool idea. Next question. Which are the biggest milestones of the band that you have already reached, and which are lying around ahead of you? Well, oh my God, with every little thing that we do with the band, I think this is something we achieve, and this is like a different step in our life, and it's something I want to be proud of, because I'm so proud of Infected Rain and of each musician in general. So I think with every single, with every album, with every music video, with every show or festival, we are achieving something new. We are acquiring a new experience. We meet new people. We show our music and art to new people. So it's such a big achievement. It is. It really is. And I think what is ahead of us is more shows, more music, more albums, and most importantly, visiting countries where we never played before. I think that's the biggest deal nowadays, because us being a band from an Eastern European country, we did have some bumps in the road and some difficulties getting in certain countries, and don't get me wrong, even here today, we had to give up on our very first United States tour, which was so wanted, so needed in so many years. And we had to give it up because of this huge pandemic and huge crisis that is happening in the world. So we never know. Life is so short and life is so tricky that it gives you this huge bumps and huge challenges in life. So yeah, that's what I think regarding, the milestones, how they call it right here. And the last question here for you is the outlook for 2020 and 2021. Well, guys, I will be honest with you, I really have no answer for you at the moment. And I don't have an answer because of the situation we are living at the moment. And I know each country is unique, and I know each country suffered in a different way and on a different level from this, but this is not over yet. And we have to be strong, and we have to be civilized, and we have to be humans, and we have to respect each other. We have to try our best to help each other in this big crisis. And unless we do so, this is gonna take a long time. So I would like to end this with a big thank you to Jam Session and everybody who was involved, and also our dear friend that put us in contact, Valentin. Thank you so much, Valentin Sherban. And we are just hoping for the best. And me personally, on the behalf of the band Infected Rain, we are sending you a lot of love, and my thoughts and prayers are with you. Stay safe, stay home. Thank you.